What's going on, everybody? I am Chris Weir with 2 Second Media, and we are on day number 2 here of our TS Daily Live. Thank you so much for joining us. We are streaming on Facebook and YouTube and on our website and all kinds of different places, so we appreciate you being a part of that. This is day number 2. You might have seen our video yesterday. That is the learning curve. we had to update our internet a little bit. Hopefully we've got those stuttering problems squared away, but that was our deal. Jeff is back on the boards for me today doing the ones and twos. Thanks to Jeff.
No problem, Chris. How's everybody doing today?
Everybody over here on this side of the table is doing fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent.
Awesome. Well, I'm very excited to be here again live with everybody today. Thank you so much again for joining us. This is April the as the conference about how the this particular weekend is like the Olympics for the parks of Phoenix, because it's the busiest time of the year for all the parks, because so many people are generally going out to enjoy the outdoors in the parks. The weather here in the Phoenix area, nobody's going to be out hunting for Easter eggs or doing the things that we normally see here on the Easter weekend. So I think, this particular holiday and more to come, undoubtedly, but definitely for this particular holiday, I think it's just another reminder how our lodging and how we interact with each other is just completely changing. And even when these stay-at-home restrictions finally are lifted, hopefully, over the coming weeks, they're finally lifted, things are not going to go back to normal immediately, right? I mean, think about, especially in what I mean. After these stay-at-home restrictions are lifted, we're still going to have this this time of getting used to this new deal that we're having to deal with every single day. Regardless of anybody's opinion of the there's opinions on both sides. As we go along and time progresses, but regardless of whether you think the regarding COVID-19 are legitimate or not, it reminds me of 9/11. Right? I mean, Jeff, if you think back to 9/11, right, when it was almost, with 9/11, it was almost immediate, though, right? I mean, so like the events of that day happened. It was like a day. You woke up, you knew you were in a different country, thinking about things very, very differently than we were the day before. Now, this one has taken a little bit longer, right? We've had this curve that we're talking about, so there's been a little bit of a build up, here, and there's going to be the downward curve as we get to the other end, but it's going to end with the same result. The bottom line is we're just in a different time. It's a different time today than it was yesterday. And like 9/11, same thing. Most of us, I mean, if you think about those that were directly impacted, those it's going to be a very small percentage of our population that is directly impacted specifically by this virus. However, like 9/11, we are all going to be indirectly impacted by this virus. As a matter of fact, we're already being indirectly impacted by the virus, and quite frankly, we don't even know the extent of what this impact is going to be yet. So this kind of got me thinking about Easter and what Christians kind of believe that they don't kind of believe, they do believe what Easter signifies. And now again, I'm not preaching a sermon here to you today. I'm just saying the whole idea of Easter is about resurrection, right? It's going through the fire and coming out the other side better than we went in. And if that is not the best description of what businesses in this country are going through right now, I don't know what is. I mean, we are literally going through this, not even being able to open our doors right now, not even being able to serve our customers and reach out to prospects and do the things that we were, doing every single day, not even being able to do those things. It is very, very different. And I'm thinking about so many business owners that I've spoken to over the years, and those who say that they don't need to market their business, they only work from referrals, or they only work from word of mouth, and that's it. Or we've got these that I don't do that type of advertising. I don't want to do that type of marketing. Well, these guys are in a very different place today than they were then, and this has changed in just a matter of weeks. I think these business owners go in and thinking, I've got plenty, and that, I'm going to have plenty of time to prepare when that happens. But this kind of hit us in a matter of weeks. It hit very, very, very quickly. And I just think about and those business owners and those companies that they're in a very different day today. And here's the thing, right? I'm not talking about advertising. And I think this is a big confusion. And maybe the whole theme of my conversation is, if you think about what those two things are, what's the difference between the two? Marketing is basically any method or process that a business uses to communicate with their prospects or clients. That's marketing, and it covers everything. Advertising is a very small piece of marketing. It is a piece, but it's a small piece of marketing. It is not all of marketing. And we've got so many businesses that when you say, what are you doing to market your, we don't need to market our business. So then they just stop because they think that means advertising. I'm not talking about advertising on TV. I'm not talking about advertising on radio or print or even social media or Google. I'm not necessarily talking about advertising. I'm talking about communicating to your prospective customers and your actual customers. Even those companies that do work primarily from word of mouth or referral. You to let them know what you're doing and what's going on. You have to stay at the front of their mind, right? They are loyal to degrees. But if someone can provide the same service that you can provide, and when all things are equal, they're just beating you on price, 9 times out of 10, the customer is going to go with the price. So when we're talking about marketing your business, I think maybe, and specifically coming out of this crisis, economy for us all, I think businesses get their business and refocus on building meaningful relationships with their prospects and their clients, and using marketing as a way to kind of help do those things. So my encouragement to businesses is, hold on as tight as we can that we're going through right now. Hold on as tight as we can. When we get to the other side of this, though, don't just go back to doing the things that you were doing before. Let's start talking about how to position your brand and your company in such a way that you can weather any of these types of storms, just like we're going through now, and they come without any notice. We had no notice about 9/11. We had no notice about COVID-19. So it's your company and positioning your brand ahead of time. I want to talk about two different things today. I want to plug two things, and then we're going to get out of here. Is 2-Second Media beat COVID-19. Jeff, I think you've got that URL that you can put up there. Media.com/beat COVID-19, all one word, all lowercase there. We have services right now at 30% off, 50% off. We've even got services that are absolutely free. So if your business is trying to figure out how you're going to bounce back from all of this when we get done, now's the time to start talking about that. Now's the time to start talking about positioning your brand after the crisis. So now's the time to start talking with us. Conversation is always free, always has been, and always will be. Sit down and talk about your exact situation, everything that you're going through. And if you, by chance, need anything right now, you can take advantage of those huge discounts we have, 30, 50% off, and even some services being for free. So please take a second, go check those out, 2secondmedia.com/beat COVID-19. The second thing I want to talk about is Strike Out Hunger 2020. The Agua Fria Food and Clothing Bank. Boy, that's a mouthful. The Agua Fria Food and Clothing Bank, an incredible organization that I am connected with these guys. They provide food, clothing, supplies. They even provide showers for those in our community that are in need. And right now, the need is greater than ever. And unfortunately, in all of this, these nonprofit organizations, those that are giving to those that are in need, they're being affected by all of this as well. Annual fundraiser, which they call Strike Out Hunger. They had scheduled that for, however, the need is incredible. They need their air conditioning unit is not working. They need a new freezer. Their roof is leaking. Not to mention, they still need the food and supplies to be able to provide to those that are in need. So, we got connected with the Agua Fria Food Bank and sat down and talked with the executive director over there, Leanne, and the operations manager, Jess, and it was just immediately I knew I wanted to work with these guys. Immediately, I love their enthusiasm. I love their passion. You could tell they had a real heart for what it was that we're doing. So 2Second Media decided, we got together as a team and sat down and kind of talked about what we thought that we might be able to do. So we decided that we are going to produce for them, absolutely no cost whatsoever. We're going to produce a virtual fundraising event. This is basically going to be a virtual telethon. Everybody's seen the telethons before on TV. Well, we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to do it live and we're going to stream it online. So you can go to Strike Out Hunger 2020. That's strikeouthunger2020.com. You can learn all about everything that's going on. We got a nice little countdown to the event, which is going to be taking place on April the 27th. It's going to go from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. all day long. We're going to be talking with volunteers. We're going to be talking with some of their clients. We're going to show you this food bank and everything that they do. And hopefully you will feel compelled to step up and help. And for all the businesses that are out there that can and are able right now, please go to this website, strikeouthunger2020.com, click on Become a Sponsor, and pick a sponsorship level and go ahead and become a sponsor. Again, we've got to step up. that's involved in this thing is taking a penny for anything that we're doing for them. So 100%, they are a 501c3, so you can even write it off on your taxes. It will be a very, very big thing for them, and they had to cancel that one fundraiser that they do every year. They had to cancel it, so this is it for these guys. So let's really step up as a community, help them out a whole lot more as we go along. We've got a couple more weeks now, I think. Are we 2 more weeks? Do we even have 2 weeks?
2 weeks, almost 2 weeks. Yeah.
Almost 2 weeks. So it's going to be a really tight timeline. We got a lot of work we've got to get done in a very short amount of time, but we're very excited and believe it's going to be a really good event. So strikeouthunger2020.com. I got to get out of here. We all got to get back to work. Jeff, thanks again for working the boards for me today. I appreciate it. You coming in on this great Good Friday. And to everybody that's out there, please stay safe, hug your family tight, and we'll see you right back here on Monday. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.